But I actually got my compensation the same way. I had to buy 3 of those packs, or a maximum of 3 of them, and then you tell the devs, and then the devs just send you an email with the shit. Like, remember how, I don't know if you've ever gotten into an issue with the devs where, like, you needed to be reimbursed something, or you made, like, a purchase by accident, or whatever, and the devs, like, will frequently tell you something, or you, like, opened up an item that you didn't want to open. The devs will tell you something like, we don't have the capability to send you items. And, you know, this is, obviously that was always bullshit, and I think, like, whenever the devs would tell me that, I would say, you know, that's obviously bullshit. And this is not even the first instance where I've interacted with the devs and they've just sent me items. Most of the time they send it to you in an email. One time I actually had a situation where I got mail-bombed. I don't know if that's surprising. You guys who are watching know my personality at this point. What am I even freaking doing here? I should just jump. You guys know my personality, so, you know, maybe that's not, like, the biggest, the biggest surprise to you that I was able to get somebody pissed off enough at me that they would mail bomb me. But anyway, I got mail bombed. So I had about like 60 it's between energy cubes and mega metal. I'm trying to remember what this worthless junk is that we don't even use anymore. And so between energy cubes and mega metal, I had like 60 of the suckers, probably in about like 40 emails, or maybe it was probably in 60 emails, right? Yeah. So I had this stuff, and somebody mail bombed me, and they mail bombed me like enough that normally what happens when you go over the limit is it buffers, like, it keeps, like, some of your mail. Like, if you go 5 over the limit, it keeps your mail, and it just warns you, we're going to have to delete this, so look at it, you know, take it right away, basically. Or delete enough emails to bring you down below 200. I don't know why I just saved that one. I could have just went there. But, at any rate, I had so many of these, and he sent me so many emails, the guy who mail bombed me, that I lost all of it. And my game, what happened was I was actually online as it started to happen, but my game crashed because he was just sending me emails too quickly. And every time I logged in, I would log in for like 10 seconds, see another email, and then the game crashed. It was really weird. So, at any rate, I talked to the devs for about 2 weeks before we reached an agreement as to how I would be compensated for this, because the developers did not want to simply just give me the energy cubes and the mega metal. And the problem here is that, let me get off of that one. Someone went on it. And the problem is that it was the last day of Thanksgiving event last year. Wow, okay. Good story. This is TurkeyBot Day story. So on the last day of TurkeyBot Day, 2018, and of course there is a contention as to how many days TurkeyBot Day is, whether it's, I guess, 14 days or if it's 13 days or something, because we had a soft launch on Sunday but without monsters. But anyway, on the very last day of TurkeyBot Day 2018, I was mail bombed, and I reached out to the developers. And the issue is that it was the middle of the day on the last day, and I did not want all of these energy cubes and mega metal were now sitting in my inventory. And they were about to be recycled, right? When the event would end in, like, you know, I don't know, 12 hours or whatever, it would be recycled. And so what I first did is I first, like, tried to make as many items as I could based on the event, with, like, whatever that, like, I could get out of it. But I didn't actually want to. You know, I felt like this was like my only option, and I reached out to the developers right away, and I told them exactly everything that I did, And I'm like, I didn't want to do this, but basically, I didn't believe that you would give a shit that I was mail bombed and I lost these rewards, and I didn't think you would do anything, and so I felt like there was too high a risk not to exchange these items, the Mega Metal and the Energy Cubes for items. I couldn't exchange all of it because my proportion of Mega Metal and Energy Cubes wasn't 1-to-1. I had, like, way more Energy Cubes. I think I had like twice as many Energy Cubes as Mega Metal. I think I had like 45 and 20, something like that. Anyway, so I reached out to the developers and I said, look, take the items away that I used, basically, that I got, that I exchanged the Energy Metal and the Mega Metal for. I opened up this many super equipment chests, give them back to me. Take away the last, 100 items that got generated in my inventory. Like, this is like, I told them as I did it, it's not like I was telling them like 12 hours after the fact, and then I didn't touch and I said I won't touch my inventory, etc. And the developers got back to me, and the first thing they said was like, Nads, like, you should have waited for us, which I thought was hilarious. And I basically, I gave them images of, other people who had the same problem and went to the developers, and developers did nothing. I'm like, based on this, I didn't feel like I had that option, And so, we argued a little bit back and forth, and, at the end of the day, why am I saying all of this? This is incredibly tangential. Well, it is a TurkeyBot Day story. At the very end of the day, 2 weeks later, they agreed to give me enough that I was satisfied. It wasn't it didn't completely replace my losses, but also it was nothing. It was far enough above nothing for compensation that it worked for me, basically. So I worked something out with them where they took some of the items. It was I got it was back when they were giving away AI 0 plus 30s. So I picked up a few of those. So I think I picked up 8 of those. So they agreed to take back half of them and not give me super equipment chests for them, but they would give me the Mega Metal and the Energy Cubes. And this is back with it's still I haven't used super equipment chests in forever. What do I even really need the shiznits for, right? I have over 1,000 right now. I think I turned in 500 at the last event. They give this stuff out. I mean, you get them every day in the can I show this? No, but you get them every day, these super equipment chests. So anyway, we came to a settlement. It took 2 friggin' weeks to reach a compromise, which I was amazed that they engaged me at that level for that long for something I could have just as easily said, you know what, Badger, go fuck yourself. But they didn't. So props to them. And this, although admittedly this was before they hired on Lorenzo. So, during the entire conversation, though, the thing that I'm bringing up about this is, during the entire conversation, never once did they say to me, we don't have the capability to give you items. And in fact, when we reached the settlement was bonkers, by the way. It was listen, they wouldn't give me... So I turned in for AI 0, and they were willing to compensate me for 4 of them. But the thing is, they wouldn't give me the super equipment chests back, but they did agree to give me Phoenix Feathers. And understanding the fact that Phoenix Feathers are recyclable materials, they couldn't just give me, I told them, you can't just give me the Phoenix Feathers, because they'll just be recycled at the next event. And then, so they said, we'll give you the Phoenix Feathers. When you want one, ask for it. And so, they agreed to give me, 3 Phoenix Feathers in the future. I took screenshots of the whole conversation. I'm there's no way this is going to go off without a hitch and I'm going to be fully compensated. In the end, I was, They were, they kept 100% to the deal that they gave me. The only problem is that because they needed to give me items in the future as part of it, sometimes they had to basically get a developer to do it, I believe. So it took time. Like, sometimes they would just give me the item in like an hour and a half or 2 hours. But sometimes it took like 18 hours. I think once it took like 36 hours. It was even pushing the end of the event. And they ended up giving it to me. It was like 20 minutes from the end of the event, with a phoenix feather. So I was pissed about that. Like, I had to friggin' stay up until the resets are 4 a.m. for me. I mean, to stay up, right now they're 3 a.m., but I think it was 4 a.m. at the time. So, it must have been 3 a.m. So to stay up for this, that was a real inconvenience. But anyway, the reason that I bring this up is that the first time they gave me the Phoenix Feather, they actually put it directly in my fucking inventory. So the next 2 times, they sent it to me as an email. But the first time, for all the times that the devs say they can't just stick stuff in your inventory, they absolutely can. That's just a friggin' line. I think it's a translation fail. That was a really long story for a very, very specific point on the relevance of the T9 research pack.